Hello, my name is Jordan Anderson, and I'm the Assistant Site Manager here at San Felipe de Austin State Historic Site. Today we're continuing our Empresario series with a look at the early legal system in Mexican Texas and the role that an impresario played in it. Now, in early Mexican Texas, the impresario, when he received his contract, was becoming the chief legal authority for their colony. Should it be needed, he led trials for anyone who was accused of a crime, and if that person was deemed guilty, he would impose a punishment. This punishment usually took the form of a fine or hard manual labor. To assist in enforcing the law in the colony, an impresario was able to appoint an alcalde. This alcalde could also hear trials, but anything they decided still had to be okayed by their impresario. The biggest difficulty in establishing law and order in the state of Coahuila y Tejas and in these colonies was that the state didn't have a completed constitution until 1827. This meant that impresarios were leading trials without a written law book. While people knew many basic things like theft and murder were illegal, other things fell into a gray area. What might be illegal in a colonist home state of Tennessee wasn't illegal in Virginia, Louisiana, Germany, or in what was old Spanish Texas. That uncertainty led to Stephen F. Austin to write his own civil and criminal regulations for the colony in 1824. With these laws, Stephen F. Austin tried to walk the line between laws that were familiar to most of his colonists and laws that the Mexican government would find desirable. Before these regulations were written, Stephen F. Austin and his alcaldes made decisions based on their own opinion of right and wrong. This did lead to accusations that Stephen F. Austin and the alcaldes were just kind of making things up as they went along, and in a way they kind of were. So you can imagine how relieved these alcaldes were when Stephen F. Austin produced these written regulations for his colonists to abide by. Once the Coahuila y Tejas Constitution was finalized in 1827, alcaldes were given official state laws to follow, and this constitution created a Supreme Court for the state, which would replace the impresario as chief legal authority for their colony. Thank you for joining us today. In the description of the video, you'll find a link to a lesson plan, which includes activities and primary documents. In those documents, you will see that this gentleman, Mr. Coles, is featured as he is writing letters addressing a trial that he's uncertain whether or not he followed proper procedure during those early days of Mexican Texas. Now, we thank you again for joining us, and we hope you continue with us in the rest of this series.